Hey gamers, it's grindthisgame here with a video about the new Sweet Dreams update that just came out for Oxygen Not Included. Now the big part of this update is that there's story traits. So when you start up a new game, you can see there's the two new story traits. There's Somnium Synthesizer, which sounds pretty cool, about when the dupes go to sleep and dream, and there's a machine that you can use. And then there's also the Critter Flux-O-Matic, which lets you kind of mutate critters. I'll go into both of those. And there's some other changes as well, like the new kitchen room type. There's a spice grinder. There's changes to Plug Slugs and new morphs for slugs. But we'll get into that in this video. Now I noticed with these two storylines, if you start with both, you'll only get one in your starting world. That's the way it is right now. I don't know if the second one will show up on other asteroids. I didn't test that out. But if you want to get one of these for sure, then just uncheck the other one and then you'll get the only one that you've checked if you want to play with both. So here's the Somnium Synthesizer. It's already been activated, but I'll show you how to activate it in a bit here. But what you do is there's a little building here, the Pajama Cubby. Slow things down here. This is a little debug world I made. Pajama Cubby, if you click Dispense Item, a dupe will come along and take one of these out of here, fold it up nicely, and put it on the ground. And then you can click on it and tell them to wear it. So we're going to get Nisbet to put one of these on. They're going to put it away first. There we go. Nisbet's wearing it. Now, like some other clothing, it slows them down quite a bit when they wear this thing. So you can see the wearing pajamas buff. It's -8 to athletics, and they lose a bit of stamina. But it allows them to dream at night and produce dream journals. So here's a dream journal here, but we'll go to nighttime here and we'll check them out when they're dreaming. So here we are, it's nighttime, and you can see the dupes with suits like Nisbet here has a little cloud over their head when they're dreaming, and every little status bar is popping out a dream journal. So dream journal 5, 6, 7. So you get quite a few journals overnight when they're dreaming. And then once they wake up, they'll take the dream journals, they'll pick them up, and they'll feed them into this building here. So as long as this machine has enough dream journals being analyzed, plus oxygen, which you need to feed into it, 500 grams per second, it will give all the dupes globally across all asteroids a buff here called maximum aptitude. And if we can hover over here and we can see what it does, maximum aptitude gives -25% stress per cycle, which is pretty huge. 5 athletics, 5 strength, 5 science, 5 piloting, and 5 machinery. Quite the buff. And the cost is not too bad. I mean, you can get dream journals out of them each night, and as long as you keep this thing fed. It does use quite a bit of oxygen, but it's a pretty cool machine. Now, if you take their pajamas off, they turn into ripped pajamas and they disappear. So each night you'll have to go get some new pajamas for them to wear. If you don't want them wearing their pajamas all day long and being slowed down, you'll probably want to get them new pajamas each night. But after a few nights of sleep, you're going to have a lot of dream journals queued up from all the dreaming. So you can probably get them to sleep at night, a big group, get them all to sleep at night, produce a bunch of journals to have this thing fed, because it doesn't go through the journals very quickly. As you can see here, they've got 24.6 and it's ticking down very slowly here. And as long as it's got journals, it'll create the buff. Now here's the machine when it's first kind of booted up. I want to show that to you guys. This is after you feed it its first 25 journals. Get a new kind of story thing on the left here. And you can see meeting the initial quota of dream content analysis has triggered a surge of electromagnetic activity that appears to be enhancing performance for duplicates everywhere. So as long as it can be fueled to dream journals, it'll keep up. And it actually spits out a little airplane as a reward. I don't know, I'm not sure if the reward is random, but there's the reward I got. So here's the other story trait building. It's called the Critter Flux-O-Matic, and it starts off, it needs to be initialized, and to initialize it, this thing will be blank at first. You need to put in 5 unique critters into this side, the left side, and then they'll get analyzed and they'll pop out the right. I'll show that in a sec. So here's the Fluxomatic when you first find it, and there's a little database entry about the hatch poster, which is pretty cute. Cute little message there. And here's what happens when you first click on it. You get a little message. And this is where we have to feed in 5 unique critters. First you have to activate it with the dupe, so Gossman's activating it here. Kind of booting it up. And then we feed in 5 unique critters in the left. A pip just went in there. And then it does a scan. And the pip will come out the other side. And you'll see the status circle at the top there. It's got 1 piece of the pie of the 5. And so I feed in another critter, and we got 2 of 5 here, and then I just fed a few other unique critters in. And we now have 5 out of 5. Now if you fed in, let's say, a pip a second time, you wouldn't get any kind of status. It would just pop out the other side. Now we get the kind of the story message here after it's been booted up and initialized. Now you can't put variants in, you can only put kind of the base critter in, like the basic puffed or the basic hatch, and then you get a random morph out the other side. You also get this little statue, the ceramic morb, as a reward for kind of initializing this thing. A pottery project produced in an HR mandated art therapy class. So here I just put in a regular hatch on the left side, and we got a stone hatch out the other side. So that's it doing its work. And this thing also has a data entry. Now you can't get it from here, but when you activate it, you'll be able to see it. Let's see here if we can find it. Fluxomatic. Here it is. So even though you can't click on it from here, it is in the database, and it's got some more details about it, and it goes into each critter and kind of a little bit about them and the history of the device. It's pretty neat. It does say that certain critters can't go in here, like, let's see here, the gassy moos, they're too big to go in here, so that won't work, so they don't have morphs. And the betas, I don't think they have morphs either, but I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, pretty neat device. Now duplicants can't walk past this thing, which is kind of weird. I don't know if that's a bug or not, but they actually have to come in this side, and the critters have to go in this side as well. I think that's to prevent critters from like walking back and getting put in here again. One of the other changes is a new room type, which if you scroll down here is the kitchen. And it enables the spice grinder, which is a new building. It shows up under food. Spice grinder. Now this thing's interesting. It takes, you get to assign food to it, and as long as it gets the ingredients for each type of spice, like the Freshener Spice will take mealwood seeds and salt. And let's say we want to add it to some mushrooms, because we've got some mushrooms here. We'll assign mushrooms. They should come along and spice this thing up. Let's see. So here they go. They put some mushrooms in. And they're doing the spice thing. So that's a pretty cheap recipe, the Freshener Spice. If you hover over the fresh thing here, you can see unrefrigerated is -9 per cycle. But the spices are making them more fresh at 6% per cycle. There's also some other spices in here, like the Rocketeer Spice. Provides a boost to piloting abilities. Brawny Spice strengthens even the weakest muscles. And then the Machinist Spice improves operating skills. All of these are pretty cheap to make. Pretty cool new addition to the game. Now they changed the way that the Plug Slugs worked. It used to be that happiness would affect how many watts they put out at night. And if they were not happy at all, they would produce no power at all. But now it's based on how much they've been fed. And if they're over 50% fed, they'll produce the full 1200 watts, I think. And the minimum power that they'll make, no matter what, is 40 watts. So that's the change with them. They also eat refined metals now, as well as regular metal. There's 2 new morphs to the Power Slug, the Smog Slug and the Sponge Slug. Now the Smog Slug will breathe in, if we look at its data entry here, we can see Smog Slugs are porous creatures that that draw in unbreathable gases during the day, and then at night they'll put them in exposed pipes. So I've got chlorine in this room, and this one is sucking up the chlorine with his little appendages there. And we can see he's got a lot of chlorine in him, actually, 32 kilograms right now. So these things suck up a lot of gas, and these ones suck up a lot of liquid. And at nighttime, if we go to nighttime here, earlier I said these are 1200 watts. The slugs are doing 1600 watts, but we can see this this slug offloading its gas that it breathed in all night. If we click on him, the Smog Slug, we can see down here he's got 25 kilograms of chlorine, and that's coming out because he's lined up with this gas pipe, so it's putting it in the tank here. And same thing with this guy over here. He's been drinking crude oil from this room all day long, and now he's outputting it into a tank. So these are kind of like organic pumps. An organic liquid pump and an organic gas pump. Pretty interesting. And plug slugs can go under liquids now. At least this one can. I'm pretty sure these can now as well. Now these ones don't generate power, as you can see, but they do have this pumping function. We can see him sucking up the oil here. If we look at his innards, and we get this little animation, we'll see this go up. Here he goes, he's drinking. Caught him in the act. And he sucked up a lot of crude oil just now. I think over a cycle they probably suck up maybe one tile worth or half a tile worth of liquid. Quite a bit. So I hope you found that video useful, kind of going over the Sweet Dreams update. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. It helps people find the video. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe. Just click the subscribe button down below. And if you want me to do a full playthrough on this new update, let me know in a comment and I'll consider it. So as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.